For some reason, we've been getting so many requests to talk about this. I don't know what the impetus is. But...
Before we do that, I just want to mention that Fulgor is out.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Fulgor is now officially out as well, so definitely check that out. What are you doing, Mike?
Oh, you're eyeing your cat.
My
yeah,
cat
Fulgor looks cool. He has some projectile options, and he can take off a lot of damage without it being counterable and or whatever it's called. Not
so I mean,
breakable.
if I end up with an Xbox One tomorrow, I'll find out what he's like.
So. So mysterious.
I know.
Anyway, in emails, in person, in Twitter.
So last week we did one of those viewer questions.
Yeah.
And someone asked, why do you guys not like HDR?
Yes. Super Street Fighter 4. No. God. What was it? Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo HD Remix? Was that the full name? Yeah,
and we were like, we talked about it before and we skipped it. Apparently everybody didn't see that episode and they still want to know.
Yeah, and I didn't remember where it was. Like I couldn't answer when people were asking, like which episode was it in? I have no idea. So anyway, we might as well talk about it.
Sure.
So why do we not like HD Remix? Well, let me just say off the bat that I don't necessarily dislike it. I'm not in the camp that hates it.
Right.
But I don't love it. I'll play it, but I think it made some big mistakes, and I don't like that.
Right.
So, okay, a few things. He didn't listen to people. He brought in a bunch of top players with their respective characters to come in and analyze, give ideas, give feedback, suggest changes, suggest what they liked or didn't like, and that didn't matter. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like, Jumpsuit Jesse did not like Fei Long.
And he's like the Fei in the U.S.
Right, he's like the best Fei Long in the U.S., right?
He just got third at Texas Showdown.
Yeah, I didn't like the way Cammy turned out, right? So it's just like a lot of people who had their expertise in these characters didn't like the way their character turned out.
NKI didn't like Chun, right?
Yeah, NKI didn't like Chun, so...
The Chun player.
Yeah, so,
So there was a lot of that, so people felt kind of short-shrifted and like they were ignored, and like he was all about Serlin. Well, there was part of that.
Yeah.
I didn't like the fact that it was a new game. It wasn't ST rebalanced. It was like the next Street Fighter 2 game.
Right.
Originally, I thought it was just going to be rebalanced, and so I proposed all these changes, yada yada. They were more or less just recaps of like the best of Honda from the various games. And they were like slight buffs to Geef, but like nothing weird. But then he came out the game, and there were all these changes, like bizarre stuff that didn't have anything to do with anything. Sagat can juggle Tiger Knees for 3. I don't know why. Dictator neutral jump strong juggles. Why? I don't know.
Right.
Like just all these changes that Ryu has a fake fireball. Get out of here. God, that's the dumbest change.
Yeah, that was Choi's idea, to be fair. That was definitely
okay, but that's crazy. It legit breaks matchups.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
So there was all that stuff. I also didn't like the fact that the changes were with an eye toward the little mix-up rather than toward spacing.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's what Sterling likes. Okay, he likes mix-ups.
Yeah.
He has made card games and whatever based on that, and apparently they're very good for that. Mm-hmm. But that's not what I care about. I care about the spacing game. I don't want it to be that I have to play a little mix-up constantly. Like, I don't want to play against Zangief in that game because there's a range where it's just a stupid guess.
Yeah. Okay.
Is he going to hop over to you and grab? Is he going to do the running bear grab?
Is he going to sweep you?
Is he going to sweep? It's like just a really dumb range. And so the way he buffed Geef was not to like... Geef in that game is a very footsie heavy character who pesters you slowly, and then he gets in and he does a grab, and he has very difficult to escape grab mix-ups. But he's like this patient character on the way in, patient footsie character. So spacing is very important with him. In that game, man, I do a hop for half the screen, and then you do a command grab for another quarter of the screen. It's like, oh, boing. Like,
yeah, I've always said that if Zangief, if you could create a computer-controlled Zangief that at that magic range, he had a random generator between 4 options, like, he'd be unbeatable.
What would you do? You just have to make a stupid guess.
Yeah.
So I quit Zangief, which was my main character at the time. Him and Honda. And I quit Geef, not only in HD Remix, but that soured me on SF2 Geef so much that I quit Geef in ST.
Wow, okay.
I just stopped playing all Zangief.
Right.
He also made changes that were for his characters. They were buffs for his characters. So he played like Honda, Claw. I feel like I'm forgetting. Dictator. And they all got way better, in like weird ways, I guess. Like
and stored Ocho stayed.
Right. So like one of the brokenest things in the game is the fact that Honda can store his command grab, which means that once you do the command, as long as you hold on to the stick at the down back portion after doing the half circle back, you'll always have it unless you let go. And you can do, there's no whiff animation, so if you just hold down all the buttons and you picture this, boink, buttons. Okay, or actually buttons, boink, right? Now you can't be thrown because all you got to do is let go of these buttons for negative edge and you get the grab. There's zero risk. So that means that that kind of breaks matchups.
Yeah, I mean, you don't even have to worry about that. You just hit jab a bunch of times. Jab, 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 hand slap, jab, jab, hand slap, still charged. You know, that was the thing. So if anyone came anywhere near you, if you hit jab, if you weren't in range, he'd jab you. If you were in range, he'd throw you. It's like
so that was very stupid. Yeah. And even I, as a Honda main, think it's very stupid. But it stayed, even as Honda got all these other buffs.
As soon as I heard that HD Remix was being made, the first thing I went to CERN was like, first thing that has to go with stored Ocho. And he was like, no. I
would say the first two things are probably like stored Ocho and do something about wall dive loops.
Yeah.
Those one, right. No, you know, that's it. But one of those was not changed. And like Dictator got so much stuff. Like he got the fake slide. What's that about?
Which is basically a dash.
Yeah. It's basically a dash in a game where there's almost no dashes. Only Blanca has one. His anti-air is better, which was... So basically, here's Bison's problem in that game. He has great spacing, and he has touch of death combos. But he's horrible on wake up, and his anti-air is pretty weak. So okay, he kept the touch of death combos. He made the mix-ups in the mid-range better because of that dash. And also, he gave him a real reversal and also a better anti-air. Okay, like, that's bizarre. So there's all this stuff. Is that it? Is that the whole litany?
For me, honestly, I actually got to mess with it a lot during beta, and specifically, like he implemented a couple of my changes. You know that I like. Vega fake wall dive was ridiculous.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh my god! Let me tell you, like that was pretty much the most broken move in the game until I literally got up and like yelled at it.
That's right. There was a fake wall dive.
In James Chen Fury fashion. You know how like everyone says like whenever we start debating on a topic, everyone's like, "Oh, here goes James again." Like stuff like that's like dialed to 3. That's just me normal in debate voice, right?
Yeah,
no, when I get mad, like I am like screaming like legit, and that's how mad I got about fake wall dive. Not even gonna lie, like it was the most ridiculous thing I'd ever seen in my life. But honestly, like yes, I will admit HDR 100% more balanced game, 100% more balanced than regular Super Turbo, right? Like
I don't know if I agree with that.
I think it is more balanced, but it's more balanced in a way that I don't like.
Okay.
Right? It's like you said, Sertland really likes the rock, paper, scissors kind of game, right? So the biggest issue was one of the reasons why I really liked, what Mike Z does, what Seth Killian does. When Seth Killian helped balance Super, or when Mike Z made Skullgirls. So with Skullgirls, he hates zoning characters. And yet he legit made one of the most nasty zoning characters ever in Peacock, right? Like Seth, when he balanced Super, he doesn't necessarily like all the playstyles, but he kept everyone kind of funneled into where they're supposed to be. Problem with HDR was Serlin really likes a specific kind of game and tried to make everybody play that game. You know what I mean? It wasn't so much about this character plays a little different. He said that's what he wanted to do. Like, he wanted Honda to stay remaining off a defensive character and stuff like that. So I didn't want to get rid of Stored Ocho. But in the end, you know, a lot of it just kind of came down to those same kind of mix-ups. And, you know, to me, that was just unfortunate. So,
well, I definitely agree that more balance doesn't necessarily equal more fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I also want to say that I think definitely some of the characters are more balanced. Certainly at the top. Mm-hmm. Well, I don't even know about certainly the Vega got better. It's weird.
Right.
Why is Vega better? But T-Hawk is the worst, and like he was supposed to get better, but he's bad. Like he's better in ST than he is in HDR. It's so strange.
Yeah, I would have turned it out that way just because he people discovered like really nasty loops with T-Hawk. Right?
Yeah, totally. Mm-hmm. But all that stuff was known by the time that HDR came out.
Yeah, I guess that's really
in fact, that's why he put in the throw whiff for T-Hawk.
Right.
T-Hawk in HDR has a command grab with 1 frame of animation, and with of active grabbing, I should say, in a game where sometimes frames skip.
Hey.
You didn't know about this?
I didn't.
You probably did, but
I think I've just forgotten.
Probably just forgot it at this point.
Yeah, that's right.
So T-Hawk sometimes doesn't grab you. Sorry. What? How weird. How weird is that? And so I don't know. He didn't even know stuff about characters, man. Like he didn't know things about characters.
That was one of the. I'm totally. Yeah, I mean, so there was some things like DJ's machine gun. The machine gun punch. He didn't know that to do the full thing, you mashed all 3 buttons, right? So he just wanted to make it easier by making it so you could do it by mashing 1 button. I didn't know about the 3-button mash. So when I did it, it was literally like he just did it like you didn't do anything, but you got 4 hits. And the guy lost like 30% of their life and they felt dizzy. Like I would literally see Sagat go, Tiger, uppercut, walk up and crouch, and as soon as he landed, go, jab, jab, brat, dizzy. Then cross up, forward, low fierce, brat, dead. And he's like, how are you doing that? So, you know.
Oh, no.
And then, I don't even know if he knew that hard kick Rekka comboed into stand, hard kick chicken wing comboed into stand fierce.
I don't think he did, right?
Yeah, I mean, he had one version where the invincibility was even on the roundhouse chicken wing. And so from half a screen away, if Ryu threw a fireball, you could chicken wing and hit him. And then I would combo into stand fierce Rekka. He's like, that's too good. And I was like, but he's always been able to do that. So.
There were other combos that he didn't know about,
yeah,
that other people found out about, and he had to change, but he didn't know about them.
Yeah.
There's also this, in my opinion, probably the dumbest thing in any SF2 game is the EA Mega Man BS.
Oh, that's right. He made it so you only have to tap 3 times for the hand slap.
So it's very easy to do hand slaps.
Yeah.
So our buddy EA Mega Man figured out that it's very easy to combo into slaps.
Uh-huh.
It was just like jab, low short slaps. Mm-hmm. And he just did it. It wasn't any like particular trick.
It's just that's it.
Yeah.
And you've got it. So
yeah. So here's Honda's. Remember Stordochio, right?
Mm-hmm.
So cross up jump roundhouse, jab short, mash hands. That's like 60 or 70% life.
Uh-huh.
Negative edge Ochio for completely risk-free grab attempt. And the character's dead.
Yeah.
That, there's nothing to be done about the Ochio part of that. You can get a reversal against it, and he doesn't grab, so it's no big deal for him, and then he gets a punish.
Right.
So it's just...
I had a trick where I would do backwards half circle to down back, because that's all you had to do for Ochio. It wasn't a true half circle. You could just stop it down back. I would do that, and then do short fierce to do short into hand slap, right? But an option selected as Kara low short into Ochio throw.
Yeah.
So if I walked up to someone and did it, if I was in range, I would grab them. And if I wasn't, I'd come out with low short hand slap. Like, I was just like, oh my god, this is so good.
It's so good.
Yeah.
So basically, EA Mega Man, he won entire games off that. Like, I remember this game that he had against John Choi.
Yeah.
That I believe...
he lost the set.
He ended up losing the set, but... at Devastation in Arizona.
Mm-hmm.
And so John Choi is basically winning because fake fireball against a character like Honda, even if you buff Honda, is completely unwinnable.
Right.
But Mega Man finally gets this knockdown, and he does cross-up jump roundhouse, jab, short, hands, negative edge Ochio. That's the round. It's just like that. Bam! And the next round, you can see John Choi. You can't see his face, but you can see him playing like very tentatively.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
He was like, what just happened?
Oh, this is a guy who like figured out the VIACC in like a round, you know, and he's thrown off his game by this tech.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Okay. Hey, dude, don't blame us. Someone else. Everybody kept asking us.
Everybody
to
asked us
expand
about
on
this.
Yeah.
So many requests.
So
seriously.
Sorry.
And again, I want to say I don't hate HDR. I'm not in that camp.
Mm-hmm.
But these are the reasons why people hate HDR. I'll play the game. My characters are great in that game because I play Honda and Dictator and I guess still probably Zangief. So all my characters are really good. Zangief won Evo with Snake Eyes.
Yeah.
Hey, look,
when I played Cammy, Jump Strong and Uppercut were my favorite moves. The only two nerfs that she got were Jump Strong and Uppercut, so...
Hey, but you can play Crouching Medium Kick, Drill.
Dude, who needs Crouching
Drill?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Anyway, so I really don't hate it, and even though there's a lot of complaining going on. I played it in tournaments for some time. I did well in some tournaments, actually. Because this was before I stopped playing competitively. And I enjoyed it, and some of the changes are interesting, certainly, and some of the changes need to happen, because there's some stuff in ST that is definitely busted. That it's good that he fixed, and he did a good job of that. But there's a lot of stuff that was elective, and Anyway.
Yeah.
That's it. Oh, hey, somebody just posted EA Mega Man versus John Choi.
Oh, yeah, okay.
You can see it there if you'd like. Oh, where did Drill come from? Because in HDR, that's pretty much Cammy. She just like...
Her drill has ridiculous recovery now.
Yeah.
It's so safe. So
you can just do that in mid-range. Just pester people with drill.
Okay.
All right.
This whole entire time...
Oh, yeah, he didn't even fix Akuma. Remember that? Oh.
Well, he didn't know Akuma was as busted as he was, so... Yeah.
Dang.
He did not know that all of his normal moves had no hurt box.
Right. Invincible kicks.
Yeah. I didn't know either, because, frankly, who played Akuma? There was nothing for me to ever know about the character.
Yeah, right. But, so, that was when Damn Die... There was a debate in the community whether to ban Akuma or not in HD Remix, even though he was supposed to be a playable character. And, people were on one side or another. And Damn Die came along and said, I'll show you that this is too good. And he did.
Yeah, everyone tried to beat him and nobody could. Like, nobody could beat him, so...
Yeah. So, ban the character.
So, everyone's asking what VIACC was. That was an Alpha 2, where if you characters were walking around and one activates a custom, you could sweep before they could crouch. So basically, it was a really powerful footsies tool that Vi used at Battle by the Bay, beat everybody with it. No one had seen it. In fact, Vi's crew was the only people who knew about it. And John Choi ended up using it against Vi, even though he's never seen it, never done it, or whatever. He just said, you know what? He's customing and sweeping people before they can do anything, so I'm going to try it. And he did it, and he was doing it back to Vi in Grand Finals.
Yeah, you can't even block. Like if somebody does the VIACC and you're standing up, you're taking that damage, and quite a bit of damage.
People are saying that it's frozen again. There we go. We should be okay again.
Yeah,
but I think they could still hear us. So.
Yeah, probably whatever. Visuals are not super important.
Yeah, nobody
to
wants
this
to see us anyway.
Yeah.
So okay.
Is that it?
I think so. I can't remember what the topic was. Someone said something about on stream, and I really wanted to reply to that, and I can't remember what it was because it was like 30 minutes ago, but whatever. Anyways, okay. So,
I don't have anything against people who prefer Vortex / rock paper scissors style of play. Different characters exist for that exact reason. Like,
exactly.
Some people really prefer that kind of style. If that's your style, that's great. But it's not my style.
Right.
So I try to pick characters that emphasize spacing. And everybody's always confused like why I play grapplers if that's the case. But grapplers tend to be extremely spacing heavy footsie characters who use that to try to get into range for a grab. That's usually the grappler style. And when it's not, I'm not interested. I don't really care about Makoto. I'm not interested in Abel. I don't want to...
Yeah, I mean...
I don't want to do that.
Like, I don't like Milia, for example, right? I hate fighting against Milia. And honestly, one of my biggest problems is I am not I am the world's worst human random generator. So when I play a character like Milia or whatever like that, I will do the same thing in the same order, in the same sequence, like constantly. So it's really bad. It's really bad. So.
That pick will always happen. Hyper Dragon Ball Z.
I don't know anything about it. I just know that people are doing a Mugen, and it's actually looks really hype from the trailer.
That's all I got.
That's all I know about it. So
that's all I got. Yeah, I'm sorry I don't have any more info than that, but that is it.
Yep. Okay. Well, let's see. I cannot possibly remember what it was that I wanted to talk about, so. Okay. Show That Sucks is probably over already.
Probably is.
Sorry again for starting late and everything like that, but okay.
All right, well, I guess that's it for tonight. Sorry again that I was so late. Hopefully it won't happen next week. And also, obviously we didn't do the shows yesterday. It's because we got back from Texas Showdown and didn't get almost any sleep, so we got to sleep and stuff. Next week, though, should be back.
Yeah, we should be back next week. This weekend, again, Topanga, I think PAX East, some stuff is happening this week as well, right? And then I believe the weekend after that is NCR, right? So,
that sounds right.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, see ya. That's it.
Peace.